How? Is your go-kart pulling like it wants to start its own race team? Does it feel like you're wrestling an alligator just to keep it straight? Chances are your toe's out of whack. And that's what we're talking about today, what it is. What is toe? What does it do? How to fix it. Let's get to work. Welcome back to the shop. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. When I say toe, I'm not actually talking about your big toe that you seem to want to press into the throttle too hard and run her off the speedway. There's a few different types of toe. No toe, you're just zero straight. That means your tires are perfectly square and straight when the steering wheel is at center. If you're toed in, it means your old tires are pointing in. And when you're toed out, that means your tires are pointed away from each other when the steering wheel is nice and center. Well, toed out makes the cart turn a little quicker. But when you're going down the stretch, it'll get a little shimmy on you, like it's seen a ghost or something. Toe in. Well, it'll keep it stable down the straights, but she'll get a little lazy on you in the corners, kind of like your uncle, sitting there on the couch, eating a bag of potato chips, watching Dukes of Hazzard. Little to no toe is a great option for minimal tire scrub, but I'll be honest with you fellas, if your cart is still handling like a shopping buggy, Bubba, you've probably got bigger problems than just your toe, what do you know? But hey, it's a great place to start. Well, there's a couple options to checking your toe. A lot of the higher end guys, they got what you call an AccuToe. It's more or less a fancy little laser that's connected to a camber gauge, little mirror on the back. They're about $500 here, okay? I can't afford that. If you want to do anything like me, you got to go get yourself some real high-tech toe plates. They're pretty simple. You just bolt right onto your hub, and it's got a hole on each side for your old tape measure. And if you got a buddy with half a clue that can hold a tape measure, but it ain't no problem to get these things measured out. Hey man, what are you trying to do? Measure my tire's credit score? Let's go, let's chop this thing up, man. What are we doing? Now I know there's a lot of y'all, including even myself, that mainly do use the AccuToe laser system. It does make it nicer and faster because you can do it while you're on the scales. You can throw your camber gauge on, go and slap the mirror on. You sit in the cart, adjust the toe while you're on the scales. A lot of people just don't have that option. Me personally, I do not own that kit. Luckily, Kaz does, so when we do scale, we're able to do it to him. Anything I'm doing for myself, I'm using these plates. Anytime you do your toe, okay, you can't just start off checking front and back. Start off getting your steering wheel, put your center pin in there, get your steering nice and straight. Some people like to do this on the left side first. Some people like to do it on the right. Me in particular, I like them straight on the left, and I like to toe them out about a 1/16 on the right. That's no hidden secret. That being said, since I'm gonna start off perfectly straight on my left, I'm gonna go ahead and get me just one toe plate on the left front. Maybe we should do a video trying to race on those. Another tool you'll need to start off is you're gonna take yourself a 4-footer. 4-foot leveler, okay? And a nice pocket leveler, and you're gonna conjoin those two like twins. Maybe you and your pop would be doing this, or you or your good homeboy. You'd have somebody on the back holding this square on the left rear wheel, and there's somebody on the front to be measuring side to side and seeing the difference from front and back and making sure it's perfectly square if you're going with a square left side. I'm a one-man marching band, okay? I can't hardly rely on tech, so I've kind of got myself a jig here. Got me just an old roller on the end to hold this side level, and I just slapped my old camber gauge on. And it's actually got it where I can place that up nice and smooth, then take my measurements. So with your level in place, and your toe plate on, and we're gonna true up our left side. Doesn't matter if you start front or back, stick your tape in, you're gonna measure from here to the face of this level, which right here I'm right at 4 15/16. Now a lot of people will go directly to this front hole. I disagree. That's all I'm saying. What if this plate's warped? So you just rotate it and you measure from the same exact hole, you just rotate it to the front. Mine's already been set, so mine is perfectly square in 4 15, which now means I'm done perfectly square. I can add on my other plate and go on to the rest of finishing the toe. I know we're checking our toe at the moment. This is probably the first thing that you need to do when setting up your cart. Checking your toe, then proceeding to check your camber. There's a lot of ways and a lot of things that could change up the way the cart feels. We'll touch base on a little bit of everything on our journey together in the shop. What would you guys like to see next? I'm trying to keep these videos coming weekly, guys. We're gonna Start touching more base on things in the shop, ways to adjust your cart, scalage, tires, staggers, all kind of things, and how to fix them. Figured tow was a good place to start, mainly just because tow is the first thing you start with when scaling the cart. Before you even scale it, you need to do your tow, your camber, and even after you get done scaling, you probably need to just go and check it one more time to close her on out. We've got both bolted on now. Very easy squeezy stuff, put a little pressure. Now I know with these Chinese rod ends, you can't expect it to be too true unless you go and spend the money and buy some USA made products, which I think we're gonna do. If you guys know of any places to get good USA made tie rod ends, drop a comment because it's hard to find quality stuff. Your tow is calculated by your rod ends here. This is how you adjust your tow. You got a rod end on the right side, and you got a tie rod on the left side. You got a jam nut on each end of the tie rod, both left and right side, and to adjust these, you will break loose both jam nuts. You see that? That's a jam nut. And I'm not talking Space Jam, I'm talking it jams up to it, brother. It locks her down. So if you get to having to adjust the rod, you're gonna have to break loose that jam nut, and you're gonna have to break loose in that jam nut. You can see there's a place to put your wrench, so you can hold it right there, then turn the opposite direction with it. Typically, once it's broken loose, unless your part's all rusted up, you can turn this by hand to make your adjustments, and that way you're nice and smooth with it. One, it'll be like it's reverse thread, one will be regular thread. Now, seeing that we started off squaring our left side, we should not have to touch our left side tie rod. If we have to make an adjustment, we're going to do it from the opposite side that we squared from. I personally like square on the left side, and I'm going to try to get to about a 1/16 on the right side, toed out, meaning the front of the tire needs to be a 1/16 out further than the rear of the tire. I'm no professional here, guys. I've done it for a long time, and I've kind of known the basics. But just because I say this is the way to do it, that doesn't mean you have to do it. More or less just showing you how to do it. Choose it from your specs. Now that we got our plates on, we're gonna do something very similar. We're gonna run it all the way across, and we're gonna hook, and we're gonna measure 31 inches. Instead of going to the opposite hole, just go on rotator, brother. Don't only rotate this one, you gotta rotate your front plate too. That way, if there is any imperfection in the plate, you're getting the same measurement either way. And I'll be dipped. I'm exactly a 1/16 out. So my toe is set, which I'm not gonna lie, I already know it was. If you're on a certain brand of chassis, or if you're dealing with a certain person, you should totally hit them guys up and ask them, how much toe should I run? What kind of camber should I run? What should the casters be set at? And we're gonna get into all these things in the future. But right now, we're just talking about our toe. Now be sure, if you do have to make an adjustment, if you gotta make one of the adjustments, don't forget to tighten jam nuts back up, because you're gonna look pretty crazy if the tie rod unscrews itself out and you drive her off the speedway. Then your son's looking at you, Pop, how'd that happen? It's your fault, Pop. Don't be that guy. Tighten up your jam nuts. I do appreciate every single one of y'all. We got some good races coming up. We got some good videos coming up. Drop some comments. Whatever is commented the most, that's what we'll do next. If you see something I did wrong, tell me. I'm not too crazy to learn myself. Thanks to all our sponsors, A&M Fiberglass, Konvict Art, 71 Trophy Club, and Lake Area Small Engine, and top-notch designs, babies. God bless. Hit that like and subscribe. See you guys at the next one. Peace. I'm out of here.